Welcome to the fourth project in our series, Build 50 plus Gen AI projects from scratch. In this video, we'll tackle an exciting new project, the multi-language translator. Here's how it works. You'll enter text in English into our app, and then, using a drop-down menu, you'll select the language you want the text to be translated into. Upon submitting, our application, powered by the Hugging Face NLLB 200 distilled 600 man model developed by Facebook, will instantly translate your English text into the chosen language. So let's get started. I'll open my PyCharm. I'll run it as administrator. Then it should open my PyCharm ID. Okay, so my project is opened. What I'm going to do now, I'll be creating a new folder and I'll give it a name as Translator. Okay, and then inside this folder, I'm going to create a new file, Python file, and I'll give it a name as multi-language translator. Yeah. So my file has been created. Now I'll go to Hugging Face and I'll click on models, and since this project that I'm working on is related to translation, so I'll be clicking on translation and I'll apply one filter, maybe most likes. And for this demo purpose, I'm going to use this NLLB 200 distilled 600 M model. This is from Facebook, so I'm going to use this one. You can also use any other model if you want. Okay, just one thing that you need to take care of is this is the license is CC by NC, so you can use this model, you can share this model. However, this cannot be used for any commercial purpose, so just keep that in mind. Okay, so as I have done in my previous projects, I'll click on using transformers and copy the pipeline code. I'll just click on copy. I'll go back to my code and I'll paste it over here. Okay, and additionally, as we have done in our previous projects, we also need to import some of the libraries that we already have installed, right? So I'll just copy this, Torch and Gradio. And some of my subscribers faced some issue related to, they had some queries related to how they can install transformer. So it's quite simple. So you will right click over here and then you will click open in terminal, and then here you need to run two commands. First one is pip install transformers, and second, and you will click enter. It will start installing the required files on your machine. And second command you need to use is pip install torch. Okay, so once you install these two libraries, you are good to go. Okay, since on my machine it's already been installed, so I'm not going to do that again. Okay, so now, as I have explained in my previous videos, and if you have not seen my previous videos, I would recommend you to view my previous videos wherein I have worked on 3 different projects. Okay, so if you have seen those videos, you know what is going to happen. So once I run this file, it should start downloading this particular model on my local machine in the cache folder. Okay, let's try to run it. There are 2 ways of doing it. Either I can click on this link and it will start running my file. There is another way is I'll just open it in terminal, and then I'll just enter the command like Python, or maybe what I can do is I'll click over here and then the folder where this file resides, in which this file resides. So I'll open in terminal and I'll enter Python and then file name, and my file name is multi-language translator.py. okay, and as soon as I hit enter, ideally it should start downloading the file for me. Okay, so as you can see, it has started downloading the file on my local machine. So let's wait for it to complete. Okay, it also downloaded some of the supporting files. So now ideally my files should have been downloaded on my machine. So if you have seen my previous videos, you know the path where this model gets downloaded by default. That's the cache folder. So you need to go to C users, your computer name, cache, Hugging Face, and then hub. So as you can see, this model has been downloaded. So as I have done in my previous projects, I'll also copy this. I'll cut it from here and I'll go to my code. I'll click on models, right click, and then open in Explorer. I'll paste my model in this folder. Okay, I'll come back to my project, and then as you can see, my Facebook NLLB 200 distilled 600 M model is, I can see it here. So just I'm not sure if I told about it, but NLLB is no language left behind. So this is the model developed by Facebook. I'll right click, I'll copy path reference and then path from content root. Okay, and then what I'm going to do is I'll create model underscore path is equal to, I'll just paste the part that I have copied. Okay, and I also need to go one folder back, so I'll just add dot dot slash. Okay, now I'll change, maybe I'll comment this one and then I'll copy and I'll paste it over here, but rather than this hard-coded model name, I'll just enter model path. Okay, so my code is ready, text underscore translator. Okay, so now how to call this? So for calling this particular item, what I'm going to do is I'll just add translation is equal to text translator. Okay, yeah, before that what I'm also going to do is I'll add one more line over here, torch dtype is equal to torch dot bfloat 16, and as I have explained it previously, this basically allows us to compress our model without degrading the performance. Okay, so that's it. And then now what I'm going to do is I'll be calling this function to see whether it is working fine or not. So what I'm going to do is I'll just create a text is equal to hello friends, how are you? Okay, so this translation, basically first I'll pass the text, then there are some of the things we need to pass two more parameters. First one is which language is what is the source language, and what is the destination language that you want, I mean target language that you want this text to be converted into. Okay, so for that I'll be using src underscore lang is equal to, and then the last one is target underscore lang is equal to. Okay, so here we cannot pass the direct language, like for example English or whatever language you want to convert. So there is some fixed string that we need to pass against each language, and to know that, there is a link that basically tells about all this code we need to pass, right? So we need to pass this code. So for example, I'll see what is the code for English. So this is the English, and I'll put it in the source language because my source language is English, so I'll put it over here. Similarly, for example, I want to change it into maybe German, so I'll select this one. So now this text should ideally be converted into German text. Okay, so let's see, I'll print translation and let's see whether it is working fine or not. Okay, it has given me some error. Okay, so I did a mistake, right? I need not to copy this path, but if you remember, I need to go to snapshot and I need to copy the path from this alphanumeric folder name. So I'll just right click here and copy path reference. I'll path from content root and I'll again paste it over here. Okay, and I'll click enter, and I'll also go one folder back, so I'll just put dot dot slash. Okay, now I'll run it again. Now as you can see, my German language, my text has been translated into German language. Okay, so this is so it means that my model is working fine. It is going to give me the text in the language that we want. However, here Okay, in this video we just don't want to have an option to just convert from English to any fixed language. We wanted to have this converted into multiple language. So whenever we type anything in English, then we should have one option using which we can select the language, and our model should translate that English text to the language that we have selected. So irrespective of whatever you select German, French, Hindi, whatever, right? It should be able to translate that particular thing into that selected language. So let's understand how to do that. So first dependency that I showed was this set, right? So against each language, we need to have this code, correct? So what I'm going to do is, now I'll be taking help from ChatGPT, okay? As we have done previously. No need to write your own code. Everything you can solve it, do it using ChatGPT. So I'll just first ask, could you please convert this table into JSON format? Okay, here it is. So now it has started typing the JSON format. It started converting my language to JSON format. Okay, okay, perfect. My JSON has been created. So what I'm going to do is, I'll just copy this code. I'll go back to my project, and inside, maybe I created one folder with the name files, if I remember correctly. Yeah, so I'll create a new file, right click, file, and I'll give it a name like language.json. okay, and I'll paste my JSON code, whatever I've copied from ChatGPT, over here. Okay, I'll close it again. Now what happens is, I want to have a function. Okay, so I want to have a function that basically what it should be doing is get language, or maybe I'll use the same word, whatever term that they have used, right? Get Floria 200 code, get Floria 200 code from language, and input would be language. So ideally what it should do is, it should give me the code, right? So let's try to ask ChatGPT to give me this code. Okay, so okay, so let's ask ChatGPT to give me the code. So let me write the prompt. I have saved this JSON in language.json file. Now I want to have a Python function that takes language as an input and return corresponding Floria 200 code. Okay, so it has started writing the code. Okay, so okay, it's completed. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, I'll just copy this complete code. Okay, and I'll paste it over here. So this is my function that basically what it does is, it tries to open the language file, JSON file, and then it load into language data, right? And then it tries to search for all the entries, and wherever it finds the language that we provide, it returns me that value. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, I created my own function, right? So I will cut it from here. I'll put it inside my function that I created. Okay, and last one is this one, right? So this one also I'll move it little bit up. And for translation as well, I'll be creating one function, translate text, that take text as an input and then returns this, right? And as you know, we need to return. If you have seen my previous video, I already have explained, right? I'll be using translation and then this translation text, right? Perfect. So my function is ready. That basically, I'll just comment this line. Okay, so there is one function that basically call the model, give us the translation. Then there is another function that we just have copied from ChatGPT that basically takes the language and return us this code that is required for us to work. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is, so this will remain same. However, whatever language we wanted to pass, right, we need to see destination language. Okay, and I'll click dest code is equal to I'll put it a little bit up because it needs to be in sequence, and we are calling this function inside this function, so this function needs to be above than this particular function, right? So I have destination code is equal to get Floria code from language, and then I'll pass destination language. Okay, so it means what function does is, this function basically accept two: what is the text that we need to translate and what is the destination language we translate. But since our destination language expects to have this string, right, so first we need to convert this language to a string, for which we ask ChatGPT to write our function, right? And now we have source language will remain English, so I'm not going to change anything. But for the destination language, what I'm going to do is I'll add dest code. Okay, so my code is ready, right? We have everything here. Now I'll just need to pass import JSON, so I'll put it at the top. I will remove all these unwanted codes, right? Okay, so things are looking fine. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'll be copying the code from my previous projects. So I'll just copy this code, Gradio code from here. I'll paste it over here. So how our application should look like? Basically, this applications should have two inputs. First one is to provide the text, second input to select the destination language. As soon as you select both and click on submit, it should give me the translated text. So let's make some changes over here. So first of all, I need to pass this translate text function over here. Then we have one text, input text to translate. Then I would have another Gradio control that I'll have drop down. Okay, label is equal to select destination language. Okay, and insert choices, I have given, for example, I have given 9 insert choices. I'll be adding for now I'll be adding couple of languages, but you can add any language that you want. That you can just copy it from here, all those languages, and you can paste it, right? So for example, right now I'm adding German, then I'll be adding select some other language, French, maybe I'll add another language, Hindi, then I'll add another language, maybe any language, Romanian. Okay, so I've added all my languages. So now my model will take two input. First one is the text part that will accept any input that you want. Then there will be a drop down. For now, that drop down would have only 4 options: German, French, Hindi, and Romanian. So you can select any kind of language that you want your English text to be converted, and then you will press on enter, and then ideally in the output box you should get the translated text. So I'll enter translated text, and then this would be our fourth project that we call it as multi-language translator. Okay, and what I am going to do is the one thing that I need to do is I need to copy the path of this JSON file. So I'll just copy path reference, and here rather than giving this complete this path, I'll be just copy path reference, path from content root, I'll paste it over here, and I need to go one file back, so I'll just do /files. Okay, so let's see, ideally things should be working fine, but let's try to run if in case we face any kind of, and also the text needs to be converted. This application will be used to translate any English text to multiple languages. Okay, now let's try to run it. I'll click on run button. Okay, it has given me this URL, so I'll click on this URL, and now as you can see I have one text box, so I'll enter hello friends, welcome to my channel, hope these videos help you understand AI. Okay, and then the destination language, I'll be selecting, for example, French. I'll click on submit. Sometimes the translation might not be 100% correct, so you need to make sure that the model that you are using is kind of working as expected. Okay, I got some error. Let's see what that is. It says okay, I got it. I missed the index to be added, so it should be 0. So let's try to run it again. I'll click on this button, I'll type hello friends, how are you, and then I'll select the language as French. I'll click on submit, and ideally it should give me the text converted into French. So so I have got some text. I don't know French, so I don't know whether it is correct or not. So sometimes might happens that it might be the case that the language is not, the model that I was selected is not giving you 100% correct translation. So in that case you can change your kind of model. Let's try to see German, so I'll click submit, and again it should be able to give me something. Okay, so this is the one that is in German. Let's select Hindi and click on submit, and this is something that is translated into Hindi. Okay, so your application is ready. Now you can, as I mentioned, you can add whatever language you want in this choices, and then all those options will appear over here. And I already have the code available, so that whatever since I have copied all those 200 languages in here, so whatever language you use in that drop down, it should work fine. Okay, so congratulations, you just have completed your fourth AI project, and I hope that you are also following along, because just watching the video will not help. If you really want to have if you really want to get benefit out of these videos, I would suggest to start implementing at your end. Then only you can get most out of it. Okay, so in the last step of this video, we are going to deploy our changes to Hugging Face so that you can share your work with your friend, family, colleagues. You can also post your project on LinkedIn and obviously showcase your AI knowledge with the world and your community. So let's get started. I'll first go to Hugging Face and I'll create new space. I'll give it a name as multi-language translator. Okay, license I'll select as Apache 2.0. I'll select Gradio. I'll keep space hardware same. I'll keep it public and I'll click on create space. I'll not explain each and every step again because I already have explained everything in my previous videos. So I'll quickly create a new file and I'll give it a name as requirements.txt and I'll give all the libraries that needs to be installed. So first is transformers, then torch, and finally Gradio. Okay, and I'll commit new file to main. Okay, now again go to files and create a new file and I'll give it a name as app.py. Okay, and let's see what all changes we need to do in our code. So as you know what I need to do, right? So first thing I need to do is I'll just comment this line and uncomment this one. I already have explained everything, right, in my previous videos. So if you're following along, you know why I'm doing this. And then I'll add this line that we added, one additional parameter. Okay, so everything is done. The one more change that I'm going to do is I'll change the file path here, because what I am going to do on Hugging Face, I'll be uploading the file at the same location. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll not be creating any folder, so I'll just remove everything and just keep it as language.json. Okay, I'll copy this code and paste it over here. Okay, I will commit new file to main. Okay, and the third file that I need to upload this time is the language.json file that we have created. Okay, so for that what I'm going to do is I will go to my project, I will right click on my file, I'll open it in Explorer, and then I will just copy this file and move it to this location. Sorry, I add file, upload file. Okay, and then I will move this file and upload it to this location. So my file has been uploaded. Now I'll click on commit changes to main. Okay, so my language file is done, my code file is done, my requirement.txt is done. So I'll click on app and this will start installing the required libraries and then also start building our project. It will take some time to complete. Okay, so my build is successful. Now it is trying to start our application. So let's wait for that to happen. Okay, perfect. Our application has been is now up and running. So I'll close this window, and as you can see, it's GenAILearniverse project 4 multi-language translator. So let's try something. So let's try to see if it is working fine or not. So I'll just type some text. Hi friends, I hope you all are doing great. Happy learning. Okay, and let me select one language, maybe German, and I'll click on submit. So this time we have the model size of this translation model is little bit bigger than the previous models that we have used, so it might take a little longer. And you have that option to use GPU in Hugging Face. However, I'm using free version, only CPU version. That's why the response might be a little slow. Okay, so my text has been translated into German. Let's try another language. I'll select French this time. I'll click on submit. Okay, so my French text has also been generated. Now let's try with our last, maybe some one more language. I'll select Hindi this time. Okay, so our Hindi translation is also done. So we just have completed our fourth AI project. Please hit that like button if you like this video. Also consider subscribing this channel. Thank you so much. Happy learning.